Zelete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Deep in the dry, hot desert where Burkina Faso meets Niger, the ground is mostly dust and rock. It is a quiet place, but on a warm day recently, that quiet was shattered by the sound of gunshots. This was not a normal battle. This was not a fight between soldiers and the rebels. This was something much more personal. One day they say shall never cease to happen. It was an execution. A man named Saad Fadal was unalive and left in the dirt. To most people in the world, his name means nothing, but to the people who study war and terror, Saad Fadal was a very big deal. He was a powerful leader who had just made a very dangerous choice. He had walked away from one of the biggest terror groups in the area, a group called GNIM. Even worse, he ran straight to their biggest rival, the Islam, and took his fighters with him. But why did he do it? Why would a powerful commander run away when he knew it would probably get him unalive? Before he died, Saad Fadal told a shocking secret. He accused his old bosses of doing the one thing they always promised never to do. They said they had stopped their holy war. He claimed they had made a secret under the table deal with the government of Benin. Benin, this is not just a story about a shootout in the desert. It is a story about secret handshakes, big lies, and a bloody war for power. It is a story about two massive groups fighting a silent civil war in the sand, and it is going to change everything for West Africa. To understand why this execution is such a big deal, we have to look at the two groups fighting this silent war. They are like two giant monsters sharing the same desert. The first group is called the GNIM. That is a long name that stands for a group for the support of, you understand. It's not just one group. It is a big club of different rebel groups that joined together a few years ago. They are officially connected to the the global network. GNIM plays a very slow, very patient game. They do not just want to fight. They want to run things. In the places they control, they try to act like a real government. They set up their own court. They collect money from the people. And they even try to settle fights between local families. They want the local people to like them, or at least to depend on them. The second group is the Islamics does not play a slow game. They do not care about making friends with the locals. They do not want to set up courts or solve family arguments. They want absolute power, and they want it right now. They are incredibly brutal.
Are we witnessing a purge among terrorist groups in Sahel? The Genie would have murdered Saad Fadal, one important leader of the Islamic State, in the border area between Burkina and Niger. According to several sources, Saad Fadal had left the Genie with several dozen of his fighters. After accusing his leadership of treason, he reproached especially the Jim leaders for moving away from the jihad and to have made secret agreements with the government of Benin to curb jihadist expansion to coastal countries. This execution, if it is verified, had deep divisions at the time and a fierce struggle for control and strategy between Genie and Islamic State in the Sahel.
For a long time, these two groups have lived in the same desert. Sometimes they leave each other alone, but most of the time they hate each other. GNIM thinks the Islamic is too wild and crazy. The Islamic thinks Jim is also soft and weak. This brings us back to Saad Fadal. He was a commander for the G, but he was a hardliner. He did not want to play a slow political game. He wanted a fast, brutal war. And when he saw his bosses doing something he hated, he decided to switch sides. Now, let us talk about the big secret that Saad Fadao uncovered before he was unalive. For the past few years, the G has always been moving south. They started in Mali, moved into Burkina Faso, and then started pushing towards the coast of West Africa. They started attacking places in Benin, a peaceful country on the coast. The government of Benin was terrified. Their soldiers were fighting hard, but the rebels kept coming. But then, suddenly, the attackers slowed down. Saad Fadao claimed this was not an accident. He said it was because of a secret deal. He claimed that the big bosses of G met in secret with representatives from the Benin government. The deal was simple. G would stop pushing south into Benin. In exchange, the government of Benin will leave them alone in certain areas, or maybe let them use the big national parks in the north to hide and move their weapons, according to the explanation. To a man like Saad Fadao, this deal was a massive betrayal. He believed that you should never ever talk to a government. You should only fight them. In his eyes, his bosses had sold them out. They were trading their holy war for safety and easy money. Fadao was so angry that he took dozens of his best fighters and left G. He swore loyalty to the Islam. So, for G, this was a nightmare. If one big commander could leave and tell everyone about the secret deal, others would do it too. Their whole group could fall apart. So, they hunted him down. They found him on the border and they unalived him to keep him quiet. Why will a group like G make a deal with a government in the first place? It comes down to a very simple problem. They are getting too big. Think about it like this. Imagine you are running a business. If you open too many shops too fast, you run out of money. You cannot find enough good workers, so you cannot manage everything, and your business falls apart. This is the exact problem G is facing. They have taken over huge parts of the desert, but if they keep pushing south into countries like Benin and Togo, they have to fight new armies. They have to spend more money, use more bullets, and send their fighters far away from home. The leaders of G are smart. They know that if they grow too fast, they might lose everything. They wanted to slow down, build up their strength, and keep control of what they have already. To them, a secret deal with Benin was just smart business. It gave them time to breathe. But to the most radical fighters, this looked like cowardice. This is the big trap for groups like G. To stay strong, they have to recruit angry, radical young men who want a non-stop war. But to survive, the leaders have to make compromises. The moment the leaders make a compromise, those angry young men feel betrayed. They look at the Islam, which never makes deals, and they want to switch sides. Now that Saad Fadao is dead, what happens to the region? The short answer is, things are about to get much worse. First, look at Benin. If the rumor of this secret deal gets out, G has a huge problem. Their own fighters will start doubting them. To prove that they are not cowards, the leaders of G will probably feel forced to launch new massive attacks against Benin. They will want to show everyone that they are still fighting. Second, the war between G and the Islam is going to explode. The Islam is not going to ignore the death of Saud Fadal. They are going to use his story to recruit more people. They will tell G fighters, look at your leaders. They make secret deals with governments and they unalive their own brave commanders. Come join us instead. We are going to see a lot more fighting in the desert between these two rival groups. The roads will become more dangerous. More villages will be attacked as the two groups fight for control of the land. And as always, the people who will suffer the most are the innocent families living in these villages, caught in the middle of a war they never wanted. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Benin.